Hear you. Mic check 1, 2. There we go. We ain't about to start that tonight. Welcome to Market Recap Live. I am your host, Joseph Martin, and I have an awesome show for you guys tonight. Ooh, comparing it to yesterday, it's gonna be hard to top that screw up. It's gonna be hard to top how bad we bombed yesterday, but we gonna be all right. We are taking a look at ticker GME. You might know them better as GameStop. GameStop Corporation was founded in 1984 by James McCurry and Gary M. Cousin, with the first store opening in Dallas, Texas. Now they are a video game, consumer electronics, and gaming merchandise retailer in the consumer cyclical space, and they are not listed in the S&P 500 index. GameStop Corporation primary competitors are Best Buy, Amazon, and Target. So today we are going to review GameStop Corporation earnings and take a look at their website. But before we do that, let's do a roll call and check our stream poll. If you are, here we go. We are streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. Let's get this chat going and tell us where you're tuning in from. Put a YT in the chat if you're tuning in from YouTube, and put a FB in the chat if you are tuning in from Facebook. We are building a community over here for people who want to take control of their financial situation by learning how to unlock the wealth building power of the stock market. And we are streaming Monday through Friday following trading sessions at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The U.S. stock market regular trading hours are 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And there's a link for the New York Stock Exchange calendar down in the description. All right, so let's get to it. Let's go ahead and dive into these earnings. So GameStop Corporation, ticker symbol GME, the $8.11 billion consumer cyclical leader, reported its fourth quarter earnings March 24th, 2026. GME is listed in the specialty retail industry inside the consumer discretionary sector. They have a 52-week high of 35.81. They have a 52-week high of $35.81 and a 52-week low of $19.93, which is a trading range of $15.88, and closed today at $22.84. GameStop Corporation earnings report missed on the top line and beat on the bottom line as aggressive cost-cutting and collectibles growth offset declining software sales. They reported revenue of $1.1 billion, which was lower than the market expectations of $1.47 billion. Their EPS were higher than the analyst and market expectations of 37 cents when they reported an adjusted EPS of 49 cents. GameStop Corporation reported a GAAP net income of $142.6 million, which is higher than the $131.3 million net income they reported the same quarter last year, which is an increase of 8.6%. So for the fourth fiscal quarter of 2024, their net profit was approximately 8% lower than it is compared to now, a year later. GameStop Corporation 52-week high of $35.81 took place in May 2025. And today, the stock reached a daily high of $23.10. The stock continues to consolidate as the market evaluates the company's shift toward a holding company model. This represents a decline of 36.2% over a span of approximately 10 months. So if someone invested $1,000 at that 52-week high, they would currently be seeing a loss of $362. The earnings were released after the market closed, followed by a 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time conference call. Management highlighted the company's $8.8 billion cash position and its role as a tech-focused holding company. All right, now let's look at a couple of things on their website. And for your convenience, all companies featured in tonight's stream are down in the description. All right, let's get to it. Here we go. Let's zoom in on this website. So we are looking for the company information and the investor information. And all I see is games. So let me start clicking on some of this stuff. I'm blocking it. So let me take me off the screen. On the left. Nope. I don't see anything. Most likely it's going to be at the bottom, guys. They are focused on selling you stuff. It's very hard finding the company information on retail websites. So let's just scroll through it and see what they have on here. GameStop, PSA, get your cards graded with PSA. Then trade them in for cash or credit. Exclusives, sweet goodies you can only find at GameStop. Pre-owned phone, home. Explore the best pre-owned deals in the universe. Okay, top deals. Save up to 30%. Remember, the link is down in the description if you want to browse through this website on your own. I'm going to take a little scroll through here, and this is a long scroll. I'm looking at the scroll bar on the side. We're going to be scrolling for a minute. Digital store, GameStop gems, collect your favorite films. Shop all the things PlayStation. All right, we're approaching the bottom. Top brands for every fan. You got Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, Funko, Meta, Hasbro, Pokemon, Zelda, Super Mario, and Roblox. Build your imagination. Sell us your Mac. In-store events. Pre-owned phone. Home. Okay, let me take me off the screen so you can see what's down in the corner over here. Get help. Help center, order status, GameStop Pro credit card, recall notices, make a return, store feedback. About us. Okay, I found it. So here's the, I don't see the company information, but I see the investors information. So let's just go ahead and go there. Maybe let's look at careers. Let's look at careers. Level up your career. GameStop careers, power to the players. Level up your career. Put me back on the screen. Corporate, retail, warehouse. Become a champion of play. Customer obsessed. Future focused. Community driven. Benefits. Career development at GameStop. At GameStop, we believe in empowering our people to achieve their full potential. Our dynamic multi-brand business model offers endless opportunities for growth and career advancement. We are committed to the continuous development of our associates, offering innovative learning experiences through tailored training programs and high potential talent development initiatives. All right, let's go to the investors information. Oh my gosh. This is the plainest investors information I've ever seen since we've been doing this. They took all the color out of it, guys. Ain't no color here or nothing. This looked like an email or something. This is sad. Oh, wow. All right, well, here's the says common stock information. So let's click there and see what happens. Except reject all non-essential cookies. All right. All right. Well, this looks a lot better. The chart is kind of small. Of course, we can't blow that up. So let's read the stock information. So Game, ticker GME, trades on the NYSE, the New York Stock Exchange. Can you look up other tickers here? What is that? I don't know what that is. GameStop. So they closed at $22.81. Their trading volume was 8.1 million, down 22 cents, which was a 0.96% drop today. We are going to look at the Thinkorswim charts in a moment, but this is where their stock information is on their website. So let's just go ahead and go to our disclaimer so we can get ready to go to the Thinkorswim platform. All right. So before we look at the charts, remember, professionals trade from a computer, not a mobile device. Mobile trading apps are limited. You lose critical detail and advanced platform features on a mobile screen. So be advised, trading from your phone is usually the least effective way for managing your assets. To see every detail, use a full trading platform and watch these streams on a computer or TV. Only use your phone as a last resort. Now let's look at the charts for GME. Let me pull this up. So right here, we want to minimize this. GME, go to the charts. Here we are. So we are currently looking at a 10-year weekly chart. And right here is where we are with what's been going on. So let's go to a 1-year daily chart. It looks like it's just been trading in this range right around here. That looked like it's some support. Let me draw this. So that area right there has been something that has been testing as far as support. So it's hovering right above it now. So it bounced off of it here, broke through it here, fell back through it, came close to it. What was that? In January. So this area is January 2026. This was February. And this is March. This actual red line right here is March 20th of this year. So let's get the stock information for today. So I'm gonna zoom in, cut on our floating data box. And I found out why our labels were gone. So let me put the labels back. That was an issue we was running into yesterday that had me going crazy. So no, we don't have to worry about that now. All right, so today's information with GME. They opened today at $22.76. They had a high of $23.10. They had a low of $22.45, and they closed today at $22.81. The trading range was 65 cents, and the trading volume was 8 million. So they traded 8 million shares of that stock today. And the volume, the rank percentile for the volume was 63.9%. And if we look over here, 91 days out of the 252 trading days in a year had higher volume than today. So that's what we're seeing. That's pretty low volume for our earnings day, in my opinion. That's extremely low. But okay, let's see what we got going on next. Prompt. All right. Back to the community. Let's go back to the community. I would appreciate it very much if you guys share the stream, hit the like button, subscribe, and if you wish to send a monetary gift to support the content, Cash App and PayPal links are down in the description, as well as this ticker on the screen. All right. So now we're going to check out the S&P 500 index to see what it did today using the SPY ETF. So let's go back over to the charts. And right here in the symbol box, I'm going to type in SPY so we can look up the S&P 500 ETF trust. So those supports that we drew on the chart, we are looking at a 1-year daily chart. And I'm going to verify that right here. Yes, we're looking at a 1-year daily chart. We're going to zoom in. This is the candle for today. And it came back and tested that support that we drew on the chart. So now it's acting as resistance. I need to mouse over to see the difference between where it closed at. It closed. That's so funny. I'm so glad I can show this to you guys. So look, we're going to read what happened with this SPY today. So it opened at $651.32. It had a high of $657.03, had a low of $649.88, and closed today at $653.18. with a trading range of $7.15, and the trading volume was 96 million. So 96 million shares of this ETF was traded today. And the rank percentile volume was 82.9%. So if we look over here, it'll be right here. So 43 days out of 252 trading days, the most recent, had higher volume than today. All right. Now, this is what I want to show you about support and resistance. So if you can get pretty good at looking at these levels, you'll be surprised how often the price actually respects these levels. So if we look at the close for today, where we drew this support on the chart, so you can go back and look at these live streams when we review this, and you know that I already put that line on the chart. So this line says that the support and resistance is $653.17. It closed today at $653.18, just 1 cent above that support resistance line I drew on this chart, I think a week ago. You'll be surprised how often this happens once you get good at actually eyeing those levels to find them where they are. You'll be surprised. All right, so let's move on. I want to talk about this ETF right quick. This ETF gives investors an opportunity to participate in the index performance of the S&P 500 because you cannot invest directly into the S&P 500. You can invest in something that mimics its performance, which is this SPY ETF. All right, let me take this floating data box back off the screen. All right, now let's look at today's winners and losers. But first, we're going to look at the loser so we can end the night on a high note, okay? So let's go over to our charts. And I got a surprise for you guys tonight. I got a surprise. We're going to look at the loser first. We talked about the loser, so I'm going to have to skip this information right here. We're going to come back to it. So we'll go over here to Market Watch. And we do have the S&P 500 watch list pulled up. We are on the recap. Okay, so we need to hit the percentage change. So the loser for today is AXON. And if you've been following us, we covered AXON on February 25th, and then they were the biggest winner. Now tonight, they are the biggest loser. And the more we do these live streams, some of the same companies keep appearing as either a winner or a loser. Like 1 week they doing good, and then a week or two later they bomb and they giving back everything that they gained, or a lot of it, not too long after. And it's becoming a pattern as we do these live streams and reviewing these market recaps to be able to see this for yourself. So the previous close, which was yesterday, today's Tuesday, right? Yeah. We on Tuesday. So the previous close was $507.28. And today they closed at $456.60, which was, we're going to round it off, a 10% loss. So if someone invested $1,000, they would have lost 100 of that $1,000. So the ticker symbol is AXON, AXON, and we are going to go over to the Analyze tab to get more information about this company. So they are in the industrials sector, and we're going to take me off the screen so we can look at the company's profile. AXON Enterprise Incorporated is the official name of the company. Here's their website. The link for this is down in the description for your convenience. We're going to read a little bit about this company. AXON Enterprise Incorporated provides public safety technology solutions in the United States and internationally. The company operates in two segments: software and services and connected devices. The software and services segment develops, manufactures, and sells cloud-based software as a service solutions to capture, store, manage, share, and analyze video and other digital evidence. All right, so let's go to their website. Put me back on the screen and take this ticker off. There we go. Man, every one of these websites be Talking about some cookies, man. I'm so tired of these websites popping this up on my screen. All right. So let's browse over the top to see if we can find about the company. Resources, product. No, it's probably going to be at the bottom. So I want to find about us and the investors relations. So let's just browse over the website and read it. So protect more lives in more places. Experience the leading operating system for public safety. See AXON in action. Last time we did this, I was butchering their name. I was calling them Exxon like they were the energy company. I ain't know how to pronounce that. It's AXON. So find vehicles faster, gain visibility and insights across your entire camera network with even more flexibility in how you build it. AXON Vehicle Intelligence. Force multiply with the AI era plan. Revolutionize real-time operations. Take to the skies. Protect your airspace from unauthorized drones. Man, they got some stuff, don't they? Stop a threat without taking a life. Safer communities start with smarter tech. AXON AI is here. Our commitment to responsible innovation. Moonshot 50 and 10. Work at AXON. News and insights. Remember, the link for this website is down in the description for your convenience if you want to scroll through this website and look at this stuff for yourself. Join public safety's most trusted ecosystem. All right, so we're at the bottom of the screen. We're going to look for about us. Here it is. Under company, we can see about AXON, leadership, partners, careers, and investor site. So it looks like they have a whole separate website for investors. Let's go ahead and read over and look over the about AXON. Put me back on the screen. Here we go. Transforming public safety with technology. Protect life, preserve our impact. So lives saved 331,000, rounding it off, 331,000, 6.1 million uses in the field, 99.75, resulting in no serious injury. Petabytes, I don't know what that is. Our executive team is made up of tech leaders with diverse backgrounds and a singular focus. So here are their different locations and a lot more information. Just Be You reflections on being Black in law enforcement. This is a lot of information. Okay, let's see if they have the investors information down here on this page. I don't see it. I do not see it. Here it is, investors right here. So let's go right over to their investors information. And here it is, investors relations. They trade on the NASDAQ. We already know the ticker symbol, the closing price. They lost $50.68 today. There's the 9.99% loss. Transforming public safety with technology. So 1.3 billion in annual reoccurring revenue, 125% net revenue retention. So we want to see if we can find some more stock information and charts. Maybe if we click on the price at the top. Yep. That's a very simple chart. That's like that's very small and simple. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. It doesn't even look like they allow you to change the time frames on that. Results for Tuesday. All right, so we see what they're offering on their website. Let's go over to Thinkorswim and look at what the chart says over there about the company. AXON is already pulled up. Put this back on the screen, the little ticker. We go to charts. Ooh, they took a nice little dive today. This is the 1 year. So we're looking at the 1 year, 1 day chart. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit because we need some more candles, because looking for the supports is not enough around this area for me to be able to see where the support goes through these different prices. Let me take myself off the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. The price is around here right now. So if I wanted to draw some support, it's not enough candles in there. So I'm gonna go back, extend the time frame. So we're gonna go to a 2-year 1 day and see if we can find some more candles to link up. And there we go. That's what I'm looking for. So we have some candles here and here. So I'm gonna quickly draw these supports. We're gonna snap it to the bottom. Do I have a snap on? Yes, I do. All right. So what I'm looking at is back here, it broke right above that support over here. It was resistance here. Once it broke above it, it became support. And right over here, it bounced off of that line as support and recovered. And then it broke through it convincingly recently. It broke right through it. So there's one more line I want to draw as support. I would say it's not going to be perfect. It's definitely not going to be perfect. So I would say somewhere up in here. All right. And then we'll zoom in to recently and see how it was respecting that line. Now you see, let me put me back on the screen so you can see what see me pointing. I'm pointing, you can't even see me. Back on this side of the chart. On this side. Let me drag the chart over. I use the area back here to find the support for that second line. Let me zoom out. I use this area back here to find it. And then you notice that when we came over to this area, you can see that these candles are right along that area. And it can, so this one right here, this candle, it bounced right off of it. It's not going to be perfect, but it's really close. So this close below it, it's like dancing right on that line. And it convincingly closed below both of those supports that I just drew on the chart. So let's read the information about the stock today. Let me put the floating data box back on the screen. Apply. Okay. So when we mouse over it today, they opened at AXON opened at $501.47. They had a high of $502.16. They had a low of $448.11 and closed today at $456.60, which was a trading range of $54.05. And they traded 1.1 million shares today. And I'm looking right here on the volume. And when we look at the rank percentile for the volume, it was 88.1%. So out of the most recent 252 trading days, only 30 of those days had higher volume than today. And this is an extremely bearish candle right here today. Ooh. And this was a gap that happened, and this price has fallen in that area to fill that gap because there was no trading that happened right here during regular trading hours. All right. So we did our analysis for AXON. Let's go back to Market Watch and put this back on the screen. And now we're going to look at the winners for today. Okay. Now here's what's crazy about the winners. So I had to take notes before we did the show today so I can make sure you knew this. So the winner for today, ticker GLW, we covered this company on March 5th. And on that day, they were the biggest loser. And today, they're the biggest winner. They went up by 8.43%. I don't remember what percentage they lost when they were the biggest loser, but I just wanted to give you some context about that. So if you want to review their website or look at what's going on with their company, that live stream was done March 5th. Now, Hewlett Packard, HPE, we usually go down to the next one. That one we reviewed on March 10th because they had earnings on March 10th, okay? And then Dell, we reviewed them on February 27th. And on that day, they were the biggest winner as well. So today they went up by 7.49%. So we are going, nope, I was about to say this one. So Lyondell Basel or something like that, ticker symbol LYB. Okay, we reviewed them on March 18th, and on that day, they were the biggest winner. So we're not going to review them today. So if you want to look at their website and review them. The links will be in the description of that video from March 18th. So I'm giving you these dates so you can go find those live streams to look at when we reviewed those companies when we talked about them. So we are going to actually review the Dow today because this is not a company that we've looked at. So technically, the biggest winner is GLW, but we are going to review the Dow. So the Dow had a previous close of $36.04, and they closed today at $38.31. They had a percentage gain of 6.3%. So if somebody invested $1,000, they would have received an ROI of $63 on top of their $1,000 investment. And usually we pull a calculator up. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. So I won't go the whole show without using the calculator just in case this is somebody's first time watching this. That is not right. So you take the $1,000 investment and you multiply it times 0.0. We turn the percentage into a decimal. So 63. And there's the $63 that you would gain as your ROI on top of your $1,000 or someone's $1,000 investment for demonstration purposes. Now, let's go over to analyze. So the ticker is DOW, Dow, and they are in the materials sector. Let me take me off the screen. And we're going to look at the company profile. The official name of the company is Dow Incorporated. Here's their website, and the link is also in the description for your convenience. All right, so let's read a little bit about the company. Dow Incorporated, through its subsidiaries, provides various material science solutions for packaging, infrastructure, mobility, and consumer applications in the United States, Canada, Europe, the Middle East, Africa, India, the Asia Pacific, and Latin America. The company operates through packaging and specialty plastics, industrial intermediates, and infrastructure, and performance materials and coatings segments. All right, that's all we're going to read. Let's go to their website because we still need to do some technical analysis. Let me just see if we can close that out. All right, so blow this up, zoom us in, take this ticker off, put me back on the screen. All right, there we go. Dow. Let's see, applications, contact us, Dow. Driving what's next. I was browsing over the top to see if I could find anything about the company or there's a note or the investors' information. It's probably going to be at the bottom. I just like to check the top real quick. So driving what's next. Discover how advanced materials power lighter, more efficient vehicles, driving sustainable mobility forward. Explore the science shaping a cleaner, smarter road ahead. Explore more. This is a short scroll, guys. Textiles, leather, and non-wovens, paints, inks, and coatings, power, water, and telecommunications, pulp, and paper. Boy, Dow is involved with a lot of stuff. Food and beverage. Wow. Okay. Navigating a quarter century of change. Experience how science and innovation have shaped 25 years of evolving beauty expectations and the future of personal care. So let me take me off the screen so we can see what this says. So resources, contact us, global locations, news, events. Okay, so here's the about and investor section right here. So I'm going to go ahead and put me back on the screen. I'm not blocking it. So let's click about. So about Dow, did they zoom us out? Yes, they did. So about Dow. We are Team Dow, a diverse community marketed by respect, integrity, and the desire to make the world a better place by creating innovative and more sustainable materials science solutions. I'm looking at the car, trying to figure out what it is that they're doing. What is it? The rubber? Is it the paint on the rim? Dow Mobility Science team is innovating alongside automotive industry leaders to address climate protection, a circular economy, and safer materials across a vehicle's life cycle. Okay, ambition. Our actions are guided by our ambition to be the most innovative, customer-centric, inclusive, and sustainable material science company in the world. And remember, the link for the description, the link for this website is down in the description for your convenience if you want to come back and look over this website yourself. We're just doing a quick browse. All right, let's find the investors information. I don't see it on this page. Let me see if I can go. There it is. It's at the top. So go to investors, find the stock information. Here it is. It's in the upper right. Did they zoom us out? Let's check and see. Yes, they did. So we zoom back in. So Dow trades on the New York Stock Exchange. We already know the ticker symbol, the closing price, and they gained $2.27 today. And that's the percentage change that we looked at earlier on the Thinkorswim platform, which we're going to go back to and look at some technical analysis on there in a second. So investors resources, fast facts, 40 billion 2025 net sales, 34.6 thousand employees, 91 manufacturing sites, and 29 countries in which Dow manufactures products. Wow, they manufacture products all over the world. Okay, let's click on the stock information, see if we can get the stock quote. So here's some of the information we're going to read on the Thinkorswim platform, but we can see what they offer on their website. Here's the 52-week low. Here's the 52-week high. Do they show the trading range? They don't show the range of that. Okay, here's the stock chart that they offer. And right now it's showing a 3-month chart. Remember, you can change it 1 month, 6 month, 1 year, et cetera, et cetera. Historical quote, investment calculator, dividend history. So it looks like Dow does pay dividends. So let's go over to our Thinkorswim platform and look at the charts. So we go to the charts, put the ticker back up on the screen. And what are we looking at? So we are looking at the 2-year daily chart. And this is a simple moving average right here that I'm mousing over, and this is a 200. The green line is a 9. And you can't see it at the top of the screen because I have the floating data box on. So let me take it off. And I'm gonna point to the area. So right here, it tells you about the simple moving averages line. I know it's moving really fast because it changes every time I mouse over a candle. So I'm gonna stay still. I'm gonna stay still. The green says SMA CUST 1, and it says close 9. That's the 9 simple day moving average. And then you see SMA in white, and that's the 200-day simple moving average. And that's this line for the 200, and the green is the 9. So you know what those moving averages are that I'm using on the charts. So it's in a short-term uptrend, and it looks like it was moving sideways for a minute. It was consolidating in this range right here. So I'm throwing these up pretty quick. So for how many months? These red lines represent a month time frame. So for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for about 6 months, Dow was consolidating in this trading range. And we can even reduce this time frame to a 1-year daily because we don't need all of that. So we can see it's right here. And then it broke out, especially when it crossed, when the 9 crossed the 200 simple moving average. You had a few things happen here. It tested this support right here. And it went up, came back and retested it right here with the low. And then it's been on a short-term uptrend ever since. Okay. And it just reached a 52-week high 4 trading sessions ago. So let me put my floating data box back on. Apply. And when we mouse over it, we can see the date for that day. So that was March 19, 2026, when it reached that 52-week high of $38.58. So let's read the information for Dow for today. So they opened at $36.23. They had a high of $38.47. They had a low of $36.23, and they closed today at $38.31, which was a trading range of $2.24. And we look at the trading volume. They had a trading volume of 16.3 million. So that's how many shares they traded of that stock today. And if we look at the rank percentile label, we can see that the rank percentile volume was 80.6%. And out of the most recent 252 trading days, only 49 of those days had higher volume than the volume that the stock had today. All right. I think we did a good show today. It was definitely a lot smoother than yesterday. I'm trying to tell you. Woo! All right. You already know. I hope that you learned something and I hope that you earned something. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. Before I forget, we have a new video about ticker ALB being released tomorrow at noon. And I have a new video coming out on the Original Greatness Uncut channel tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you haven't done so already, make sure you check out the whole life insurance link I have down in the description. And make sure you tune in weekdays following our market trading session at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take care and God bless.